So you're thinking about selling on eBay and you actually want to make a business out of it. Maybe that's a part-time business or a full-time business, but you're not a hobbyist. You're not just looking to sell a couple items around your house. Maybe you're gonna start by that, but you really wanna know what's the best item or niche that I should get into as a complete beginner. Maybe you're on a budget, maybe you only have $100 in your bank account and you're wondering, what should I get started selling? Should I create an eBay store that's more general, which means there's gonna be a lot of random items in there, various items, whatever I find, or is it better for me to focus on a particular item? For example, on my channel, I teach a lot of people how to sell clothing. Well, I used to make a lot of videos. I used to be a full-time clothing seller. Now I talk a lot about books, and I run more of a general store. I sell a lot of random items from electronics to video games to clothing, not as much anymore, a lot of books. I sell on Amazon. I also sell them on eBay. I just literally sold a book for 180 bucks yesterday and a $500 book on eBay a couple months back. So I do sell books on eBay as well. But what should you start with? What items should you start with? And let's discuss this. Let's go into depth. So if I was brand spanking new and I didn't have a ton of knowledge about maybe one particular item, or I wasn't like a clothing master, right? Where would I start? Now, the first thing I want to say is everybody knows something about something, right? Everybody has maybe a somewhat of a specialized knowledge in an area. That could be video games. Maybe you're a bookworm and you have a good amount of knowledge about books, or maybe you're passionate about sports. Maybe you're really fit, you're really healthy, you love snowboarding, you love surfing, you love playing baseball. I would say to start in the area that you at least have some specialized knowledge, and even if it's just a little, or an area that you're passionate about, as in the example as I just mentioned with the fitness and health and stuff like that. If you don't have any passions, if there's nothing that you're really specializing in terms of your knowledge base, then what I would advise is to start going to some thrift stores, some garage sales, and based on where you live, your demographic, you're gonna have certain opportunities that maybe I don't have here in Connecticut. You know, I've given this example a lot of times, but back to like the health and fitness type of products, if you live in Austin, Texas, like my good buddy Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, lives in, you're gonna have a ton of opportunities for outdoor stuff, for items that are related to things that are being done outdoors, right? It could be a lot of fitness stuff, health stuff, it could be workout equipment, it could be, you know, stuff for the lake and stuff for just getting fit. There's a ton of bicycles and all different types of athletic items out there. There's a lot of opportunities. And, you know, Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, is gonna be able to get quite a bit more money for a bicycle in Austin, Texas, because there's a lot of hippies out there. There's a lot of people who, you know, they're just laid back. They love working out. Health and fitness is really important to them. Like even like a, you know, a really good item to be on the lookout for are Omega juicers. They sell really well. I bet you that you can get more money for an Omega juicer locally in Austin, Texas versus Connecticut, because people just don't care about their health generally as much in Connecticut versus Austin, Texas. If you live in a really cold climate, you're gonna have different opportunities. If you live in an area where you don't have a ton of population, maybe there's a lot of farm land, a lot of farmers out there, you're probably gonna have a good opportunity to find a lot of tools and industrial items. If you live near, for example, here in Connecticut, I live not too far away from a couple of universities, Hartford University, UConn. There's a lot of textbooks. There's a lot of students that are just donating textbooks or are trying to get some money after the semester ends, and I'm able to pop on them from Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, locally. There's a lot of, you know, there's higher incomes out here in Connecticut, so there's a lot more people who are into reading, they're highly literate, there's a lot of schools out here, there's just opportunities for books where I live, whereas in your area, that might not be the case. You know, in some areas, you know, I go to Salvation Armies, like over here, my Salvation Army stinks. It's not that good. It used to be, it's changed, but I know that there's Salvation Armies out there, maybe out in the mid parts of the country where there's not a lot of population, maybe in Kansas or different parts like that, where you can get $1 for a clothing piece. So you've got to analyze your market. What's popular? What's the market want? What's there an abundance of? But also, where are the opportunities? Because over here, the clothing market has gone stupid. These thrift stores are smoking the funny stuff, and they're smoking a lot of it. The prices are just through the roof on clothing. Are there opportunities to make money with clothing? Yes. I just found a Shoei bomber jacket that I just listed up for, I think, $400 or $350, something like that. It'll sell. It'll definitely sell for like $250, $300 or more. There's money to be made, but it's just harder because the opportunity isn't there anymore as much, from my experience, compared to other items like books, from my experience, just because of the changes of the landscape over the last couple of years. So you got to figure out, what are you passionate about? Do you have any specialized knowledge? Where does the opportunity stand, just based on what's popular in your area, based on your demographic, also based on what are the prices? Maybe you can crush it at flea markets and auctions. Maybe thrift stores is going to be your way to go. If you're down in Florida, garage sales all year long. I mean, I wish I had garage sales all year long. So where should you start? What products should you sell? I wish I could give you a cookie cutter answer, but it's gonna take some experimentation on your part. You're gonna have to go out there and take a look at your marketplace. You're gonna just have to experiment with different items. If you're brand new, you're just gonna have to play around with things. I didn't have much specialized knowledge when I started, and I started watching the Bonafide Hustlers YouTube channel. Right, I'll put a picture of him. I'll link him up down below. Great hustler from Austin, Texas. And he was flipping bicycles. And I didn't necessarily care that much about bikes. I mean, I thought they were cool. I liked bike riding, so I guess I had a little bit of a passion. And I don't know, I just was a little bit mesmerized by the fact that you can pick up a bike from a thrift store or a garage sale for 20, 30 bucks and flip it for 150, which is what I went on doing for my first bicycle flip, which were two Hard Rock specialized mountain bikes that I picked up for 25 bucks each from a garage sale. It was a set, paid 50, and I remember I was at Chili's with a couple friends and I had listed it on Craigslist. Craigslist was really popular back then. There was no Facebook Marketplace, and somebody contacted me saying they want to pay, I think it was 150 each, and I sold the set for 300, turned 50 into 300, and I was like, whew, I was hooked. So I guess my passion for just being outdoors and enjoying bike riding, and then kind of feeling what that profit was like, really inspired me, to start making money with bikes. But over a couple months after that, it started to get cold here in Connecticut, and I started to say to myself, well, how am I going to continue to make money reselling when bikes aren't selling? People obviously aren't buying bicycles and riding them in the winter time. So that's when I took a look at my marketplace and tried to figure out, well, what's my next move going to be? I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and shout out to Ronnie, Hearts Motor Company. He really inspired me. I don't know if he's making videos anymore, but that was like 7 years ago, to learn about clothing. But yeah, I found out about clothing. I realized, wow, I could buy clothing for 99 cents for t-shirts, sometimes 49 cents. They'd fill a bag sales at Salvation Army. So I was able to just load up on clothing. This is way before Goodwill and Savers really learned about that funny stuff, right? They're crazy now. They're smoking, I don't know what they're smoking, but they're smoking something. The prices are through the roof. Items that used to be $1.99 or $15.99. T-shirts that were 49 cents or 49 bucks. They're psycho. But we could sit here and cry all day long. I could go out and buy a bunch of tissues and cry on camera for you, or I could say, you want to know what? All right, well, clothing is not that great of an opportunity anymore. You can still make money. I'm not saying you can't make money with clothing. I just found a $400 bomber jacket the other day for 20 bucks, right? You just got to be more selective. But take a look at the landscape of your marketplace and say, oh, man, okay, I live near a bunch of universities. There's a bunch of students. What do you think? What could be a good opportunity for me? And that's how I found books. Books might not be a good opportunity for you. Like I said, you might live in an area where there's a bunch of industrial items and tools, or a sporting equipment and different stuff like that, or cameras, or I don't know, maybe you're out in Boulder, Colorado. You're gonna have opportunities that I don't have here in Connecticut. So you've got to experiment. You've got to take a look at your landscape. You've got to go out to thrift stores, garage sales, auctions. Take a look at what products are plentiful, what products are undervalued, what types of items are selling really well on eBay, Amazon, that you could find in your area. It just takes time. So watch these videos, study the sold listings, learn about different bolos, consistently learn each and every day about new products you can sell, and then go out to your local marketplace and experiment. That is the key. So if you do that, I have no doubt you can be successful. If anyone tells you, oh, you can't make money reselling because you live here, or there's not enough thrift stores, blah, 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 it's a bunch of BS. There's always opportunities. If it's not thrift stores, it's Facebook Marketplace. If it's not Facebook Marketplace, it's garage sales. If it's not garage sales, it's auctions, it's estate sales, it's wholesale online. I spent over $6,000 over the last 30 days just buying off of eBay sellers to sell on Amazon, just sourcing off of eBay, right? I've spent probably over $2,000 on Facebook Marketplace over the last 60 days. Not as much, but there's ways that you can source products online if you live in an area where you don't have thrift stores and stuff. The only people who don't make money as eBay sellers or Amazon sellers are lazy eBay and Amazon sellers. I hate to say it. And it's not just lazy, it's not that they don't work hard, but they're not creative. They don't think outside the box. The sheep like to roam around together, right? And sometimes I'm a sheep and I gotta remind myself, stop being a sheep. Think outside the box, do something different. Stop making up excuses. You know, I'm the biggest idiot in the world sometimes because my number one enemy in my reselling business when I'm not doing well, it's me. So take a look at yourself. If you're new, stop making up excuses. Stop listening to people to saying, oh, you can't make money on eBay or Amazon, or it's not gonna work, or it's a scam. Like, that's a joke. That's the biggest joke in the world. The only people who can't make money with it are the ones who quit and give up and just lie to themselves. There's so much money to be made out there. I'm not trying to sell you anything in this video. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I wanna see people be successful. And, you know, I came from working at the Cracker Barrel, working jobs, being broke as a joke, and you know, I don't say this to brag or boast or anything, but now, you know, I have an awesome life. I own 3 houses. I go on vacations. I don't have to worry about money as much anymore. I've got great investments. I have my own freedom. I don't have a boss yelling at me. And I'm not saying this to brag or anything. I'm just saying, like, screw that crap. Like, if you're living that life and you're pissed off and you want to change, do it. Make it happen. Find an item. Find something you're passionate about. Take a look at your landscape. Go out there and make it happen. With that being said, appreciate you watching. Smash that like button. Sorry for the rant at the end, but I'm passionate about this stuff, especially when I'm drinking coffee.